Welcome back to Rooted in Erie. I'm Josh Skarzinski here at Stan's Garden Center, and it's springtime, and I'm kind of getting a jump. The last two episodes we talked about establishing some turf grass, maybe thickening up your existing turf grass, and stopping those dreaded weeds with pre-emergent herbicides. Here, I'm in a whole list, a whole aisle of post-emergent herbicides. Some of them have pre-emergent characteristics. Pre-emergent, post-emergent, what am I talking about? Pre-emergent stops a seed from ever germinating. So it's a very advantageous product to keep that weed from not existing ever, so you don't have to fight it later on in the summer. So if you have pre-emergent herbicides like step 1 in your lawn, that's going to go ahead and prevent really difficult to kill things like crabgrass. Those plants are very difficult to kill later in the summer. We are going to stop them with some liquids as well. More area like your driveways and along some curbing and things like that where the weeds keep popping up over and over again, there's long-term pre-emergent herbicides that keep things from growing entirely up to 365 days. So we're going to talk about a little bit of this product as we go. Selective and non-selective. Those are two types of herbicides. You want to be very, very careful that you know what you're buying when you leave the garden center. Non-selective herbicides, they have no control over what they kill. They kill everything green. So I want to talk a little bit about those herbicides as far as how they're managed. There's a misconception. When you see some of the advertising and marketing out there, some of my customers will come in and say, "Ooh, I don't want to use that because I want to be able to plant. I want to be able to plant something there in the future." But a lot of the conversation about post-emergent herbicides killing to the root, it's not actually using systemic action per se, where they go into the earth, something resides in the soil and it soaks up. That's not the case. That's not how it works. Post-emergent contact herbicides like Roundup we'll talk about, and they've changed their formula, so before you worry about the glyphosate concerns, Roundup is still using a post-emergent non-selective type of herbicide. What's that mean? It kills what it touches green, period. What green it gets on. If it gets on your rhododendron that you didn't like or that you didn't want to kill, it will kill it. Anything green it touches, but it does not kill by affecting the soil. It kills what green leafy vegetation it touches. So Roundup would be a contact, non-selective foliar herbicide. What I have here, Weed Be Gone, the chickweed, clover, oxalis killer. You see the Bear, the BioAdvanced has lawn weed killer and crabgrass killer. All of these are selective herbicides. We talked about monocots and dicots. These only kill dicots in the grass. They do not kill the grass. The exception to some of these when they add on this crabgrass killer, that will kill just specifically crabgrass in its infancy. If you use it in the early spring after it's germinated, that's the only exception. But when you have selective herbicides here, they are post-emergent, you have a green leaf to kill, and they are selective in the sense that they don't kill your lawn. If we move on down here, you're going to find fast-acting, kills everything. These weed clear, this is going to kill everything. This is a non-selective herbicide. So there's all kinds of different formats when you go to the garden center that you can buy. If you have just a little area, you want to kill everything and anything. So maybe the crack in the driveway that always gets weeds, along the edge of a bed that you just want to kill everything, grass, weeds, everything. This will kill that everything it touches. You also have something you can kill a large area. Say you're going to put in a garden and you want to kill the grass, the weeds, everything. You can hook this to your hose end. So this is ready to use. You can put this right on your hose end and attach that, and it will spray. This gives you a lot broader spray that you can attach this hose to. The other thing you want to watch when you're talking about non-selective herbicides is drift. A lot of times right after the dew is gone in the early morning when the wind is not aggressive, that's when you want to put these non-selective herbicides down, because you want to control. That fine little mist can drift and kill your beautiful delphiniums if you don't control where that product is going. It's not going to select what it kills everything green it touches. You'll find the Roundup line. I'm a giant fan. When I talk to my customers, you're going to hear me a big advocate of this Roundup for lawns. Roundup for years, as long as I've been in the industry, Roundup was a non-selective, killed everything it touched herbicide, but they have Roundup for lawns. You have a bunch of different formats that you can get it. The one you hook to your hose automatically. You can get the concentrate here so you can mix your own in your own tank sprayer or in your own hose end, dial sprayer, and so on. But Roundup for Lawns is a 4-ingredient, very assertive weed killer for your lawn area. It's not like the old Roundup that we'll get to in a second that kills everything. This is a selective Roundup. It only kills the weeds you don't desire in your lawn. So the formula that Roundup has gone to now has an ingredient called triclopyr. If you look at the ingredients on there, the one that had a lot of concerns, that got a lot of legal action and such, was called glyphosate. When you look at the ingredients now, all the new formulation of Roundup is going to be using triclopyr. Triclopyr has been around for a long, long time. This is not a new formulation. It was actually used to kill a lot of heavier, brushy material like sumac in areas where the power lines were, and things like that. Triclopyr was good for killing very brushy, woody things. So that's what you're going to see a lot in formulations that say poison ivy, poison oak killer. This is something that you can use to kill much more aggressive, brambles and vines and poison ivy, poison oak, that kind of material. Triclopyr is in that at a little bit higher percentage. You'll also find that in the new formulation of Roundup that is a non-selective contact herbicide at a little bit lower rate as well. So this material has its place in the control world as far as killing that brushy material, higher grade of triclopyr. So as we come up here, you're going to start finding some of this material that has a residual. What I mean by that is you're going to see things that say year-long on here. That has a pre-emergent and a post-emergent mixed together in the same formula. So if you have an area that you want, like driveways or gravel or something that is just an annoying grass that keeps coming up, you can go ahead and spray that area so it will kill what's there, so the grass and the weeds that are in that driveway area, and it will stop that area from growing green for 1 year. So note, that's not what you want to use when you want to start a new garden or something like that. You want to make sure that you use this in an area that you don't want to grow anything. It's just to stay static, open land for that. So you'll see these products have year-long control. Okay, you'll see that in the Roundup product here. This is dual action 365. It also prevents for 365 days and kills what it touches on contact. I can personally attest to this. We use some product commercially around here called Marengo, similar technology. We just use it around the greenhouses areas to prevent weeds from drifting into our crops. It is absolutely amazing. We have areas that we sprayed this time of year. Things still aren't coming up. We sprayed it midsummer. It really does work. Even after winter, it's still not growing material. It has a really neat technology that stops the seeds from ever being able to ignite. So I talked about one more time the Roundup formula. If you look at this exclusive formula here and you look, the glyphosate's gone. Roundup is still a non-selective, kills everything green it touches, does not use the root. It only uses the green leaf, but you'll find the ingredient on here, triclopyr, is not the old-fashioned glyphosate. You can find that still in the concentrate, the ready-to-use, the pump sprayer, all that says the exclusive new formula is the new formulation with triclopyr. If you have any other questions about that, feel free to contact us here at Stan's Garden Center or your local garden center about post-emergent, pre-emergent contact herbicides.